lineup altogether, though?
There is some merit to it. You have protection for the Drow. The good thing is you have vision for the OD, but the bad thing is you don't have physical damage that gets close to the OD, and that can always be a problem.
Yeah. And guys, we are going to be getting into it, but first, EGB, check it out.
Fortune and glory await!
Time to die.
You've been disrupted.
0 ошибок. Я не ошибаюсь.
Yeah, nah, it's not.
So, welcome back as we get into it, and yeah, Hellraisers, they're going to be starting off on the front foot here, coming through into game number 1 because they do have that momentum behind them. But Darkside, if they can make an impact here, if they can take this game number 1, they could be looking for a good show in this series. And we see coming through, you know, it is going to be the carry Dragon Knight. And how do you feel about this? Because it isn't a usual carry. It's not one of the main carries that you expect, but it does look pretty. The tour that we saw, excuse me, the match that we saw from Ramses last time he played, it did look really effective. So how do you actually feel about this carry Dragon Knight?
I think it's great, and I think they're drafting really well around it. You know, you get a second tower pusher in the Lycan, so you have 2 tower pushers. You know that wherever you're pressuring, the enemies cannot defend both. And then you get a heavy damage dealer on Kiyotaka. So the way that they drafted around it makes a lot of sense, and that's why it's so strong. Sometimes this hero can feel weak, but when you can round everything up around it, like in a good way, have supports in the backlines that are definitely going to utilize his tankiness, the hero shines.
Yeah, and we'll see how it is going to play. I mean, he's going to be going up against the Centaur in the lane. So when he hits well, he's not even skilled anything up just yet. So what do you expect him to go for? Is it the Dragon's Blood right off the bat, or would you expect him to go for the Breathe Fire to mess up a couple of last hits? You know, what is it the Dragon Knight wants to go for here as Ramses in the safe lane?
You get I think you either get the Dragon Tail or the Dragon Blood. Overall, yeah, you won't have a spell to secure a creep, but you are gonna have a stun on the Centaur, and then you're gonna get the last hits. That's usually the way that people go.
Okay, and we can see on the screen that Hellraisers is coming in as the favorites here. 1.2 to the 3.6 here of Darkside. So Darkside, it is a bit of a stretch for them at the minute in this match, but we'll see how it's going to play out. But yeah, Hellraisers coming into this one as the favorites. As we get a pause right off the bat, it wouldn't be professional Dota if we didn't have any pauses.
Yeah, players, you know, they cannot pause in pubs for the first 3 minutes, so they're just enjoying the moment, and I can understand it. When something is forbidden, then it just tastes that much better.
So I don't play with the pros. I know you're at a higher level. If you come across any of like the team players, we'll actually see there's going to be a bit of damage here onto the Disruptor Solo, though. Going to be able to get himself. Well, he eats it. Will be able to eventually get himself away. But yeah, did he kind of break out in cold sweats in pub matches, you know, when he can't press that pause button in the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, everybody does. It's just impossible. I don't know. It's not only the pros. Even in I think in every MMR there are people who, if they don't pause for the first 3 minutes, they just feel sick, and some of them just have to live with it nowadays.
Yeah, and it must feel awful for them, but it means that we can get straight into the game. I can't tell you how many times before it happened you'd wait for the first 5 minutes because someone says, all right, okay, I've picked, I'm going to go for a smoke. As the stun comes out, all into the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight going to be taking a lot of damage here. Ramses, taking that harass. Level 2 is there, though. So he has that point in the Dragon's Blood, has that full wand here as well. So he's even going to have a couple of extra branches that if he gets the tangos coming in, he's going to be able to consume those for the extra regen. So Dragon Knight should be fine in the lane. Looking towards the mid lane now as well. Kiyotaka coming up against the Death Prophet, and he's just going to be able to throw out those Astral Imprisonments here onto Rabel, and Rabel we're taking a lot of punishment here, though. Kiyotaka getting low on the mana. And how does the Death Prophet play in this lane, just because of the amount of control coming out so early on for the OD?
The more that the time passes, the better it gets for the OD. More points in Astral Imprisonment means very, very tough deal for a Death Prophet, and that's just how it's gonna be. So Kiyotaka is now winning in CS, and that's probably gonna continue further on. Death Prophet is a solid hero, though, so what Rabel is gonna try to do is what he's doing now, let's say, playing aggressively and going into the face of Kiyotaka, especially with the early points in the Astral. Well, the Spirit Siphon will link through it. It doesn't cancel it once you Astral someone.
Yeah. And What does, like, say, because the lane's going to get better for Kiyotaki, you know, more than likely he's going towards that Meteor Hammer, which, no, he actually is, he has it queued up. But, so the Death Prophet, does Rabel have to stay and defend his mid lane tower, or does he rotate off and, you know, just sack that mid lane to look to get an objective on one of the side lanes?
Well, once you get the Meteor Hammer, it's the supports that are because when you have nothing to cancel out the Astral into Meteor, it's a big problem for anyone laning against you.
Yeah, we'll see here at top lane as well. Seneko going to be taking a little bit of harass from the neutrals of all things here as he gets that pull through. Looking just to get the half pull. Yeah, no, he does pull the range creep in to be able to take that one out here, the neutrals, as Antares rotates himself over. But back in the mid lane, yeah, talking about it, you can see the Kiyotaka coming through with the Astral Imprisonments on to Rabel, and Rabel, he's actually just, I mean, like all good ODs do, use it to drive top lane to get the telekinesis back. Dizzying, he's going to go down, and it is going to be nailed with the wolves as well as the help of the creeps. Gets that first blood on the Drow. This is not the start that Darkside wants to do, or Dizzying here on this Drow Ranger.
It's a catastrophe because the creeps are walking into the tower. It's going to be impossible for Drow to get any CS now. This is, you see this 5 CS, there is a chance that he stays there.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, the wolves are going to be coming back now as well. He's going to be able to get something underneath the tower. So got his timings down, but it looks like denies the wolves as well, chasing Dizzying all the way through this tower. And they are fairly tanky, even underneath the tier 1 tower. So he is going to be chased down and harassed. And eventually it looks like the lane will stabilize here, getting the deny onto the range creep. But yeah, even just so early on, though, being down for 10-15 seconds, it has such an impact in the early, especially a Drow that needs that momentum to get going.
This is the start for the game. Darkside are having a really bad time. Rabel is at least recovering in the mid lane, but the side lanes are they're looking super bad. And it's not like Death Prophet is a good hero to rotate to help. Once you're being Death Prophet starts being okay, bye-bye Rabel, we're just gonna walk away. So I'm not really sure. Top lane, this Drow will have to leave the lane very, very early on, and there's really nobody to help. We'll see if Roger can maybe make something happen. He's the X factor that Darkside will have to look to once the laning stage starts to end.
Yeah, we'll see here. There is going to be the Bushwhack coming out as well as the Storm. Did they get a kill here onto the Disruptor? There's going to be the Glimpse. Solo, though, he's going to be taken down, and Roger will be able to secure that one.
That's a pretty easy one. Disruptor, we always talk about it. It is a hero that you need to punish. Every single out position of this hero you need to punish, because it's very important for you to somewhat feed on a Disruptor, because it's just such an easy hero to kill. There's almost nothing that you can do to keep yourself alive.
No, and we'll see, you know, how much more they can get on top of the Disruptor in this game. But for now, he is going to be rotating up to the top lane after that death, so looking for maybe another kill onto the Drow. Coming up for a big wraparound as well. Seneko is going to want to scout this one out. Dizzying, I mean, there's going to be a limp, so if Dizzying gets caught out, telekinesis for the drag back. Does he have that connected field? The cogs, they get dropped now as well. There's going to be the TP in. I think he'll be able to keep Dizzying alive. Dizzying's going to be chased down by Mero. He wants to get right on top of this Drow range. It looks like the support's not going to be able to do anything, and the multi-shot comes out. Dizzying going to be able to pick up a kill. Rotation, you know, the idea was good from Solo, but he just wasn't able to have an impact there, and Dizzying able to claim that kill, even being chased down by the Lycan.
He went from the wrong angle. Seneko was guarding that one and just placed the perfect cogs. The second that the cogs got placed, it was sure that the glimpse is not gonna come through, and Dizzying is gonna have more than enough to survive. So now with Roger coming towards the top lane, actually they could stay a little bit longer. Good thing though for Hellraisers, at least their Disruptor did die, so he's not gonna be taking any experience away from the Lycan.
Which, yeah, no, that's all the cores need to be worried about, right? They're making sure the supports aren't leeching XP. They can get their own XP. I mean, Dizzying, how's he looking? He's got himself the double Wraith Band, going towards the power treads as well, it looks like, here on the Drow, which I don't expect anything different mid lane as well. Level 6 on Kiyotaka, but he hasn't got the Sanity's Eclipse queued up just yet. Exorcism will be used. Roger's in the mid lane now as well. Kiyotaka playing it back. Antares rotates in. Does he see Roger? Rocket Flow comes out now as well. Roger, though, he's going to be scouted out. Do they go into the Rubik? Antares, there is going to be the Astral Imprisonment to slow down onto the Death Prophet. Chasing down onto the Rubik. Telekinesis used once again. Roger, though, do they get this kill onto Antares? He's trying to run away for his life. Rotation. Kiyotaka Solo's going to be here now as well. The cogs do get dropped to Seneko. He's going a little bit too far on his own. Seneko, the Bushwhack connects onto the Rubik. The Rubik, no!
Nice.
The Astral, it saves him, and he might be able to get a kill. Seneko running himself away.
Oh, it's a disaster for Darkside. They really needed to do more damage onto the tower, or at least get some kills. Hellraisers just wanted to bring in the supports to defend the tower. What happened is that Kiyotaka lost his courier, so there was no chance to actually bring the Meteor Hammer, and this was the timing for Darkside to make something happen. In the end, they were like, okay, at least we're gonna kill the Rubik, and not even that goes their way. So they're definitely not gonna be happy with the first usage of the Exorcism.
No, absolutely not. Like you said, that was the time that they needed to be getting these kills. They needed to be getting some impact on this mid lane. And good plays from the side of Hellraisers, you know, good team play between the teams, just to be able to keep each other alive. And meanwhile, that's going on. Ramsey's just been given a solo lane over against Blizzy on the Centaur. He's got that Dragon form up, so he's going to be able to do damage from a distance. Ashtel comes out onto the Death Prophet, though. No real rotation. I mean, the supports were close, but not close enough to capitalize on that. Rabel should be okay. Solo's rotating in, and I don't know if they actually want to go here onto Rabel. Rabel's back behind that tier 1 tower, even with the glimpse. I think he's going to be fine here. So yeah, Hellraiser's not committing. Speaking about committing though, top lane Seneko going to be taking a lot of damage from those wolves, and the cogs do get dropped. Going to be cleaned up there as well. It looks like the Helm of the Dominator's out for the Lycan, but Antares and Soul just moving as a pair, looking to have some impact on the map, and it looks like they're going to be targeting this top lane once again.
Seneko is low, so he's gonna be in a ton of trouble here. These two supports themselves, they do enough damage.
Yeah, Solo with the Thunderstrike able to play, like you say, from a distance as well.
Trouble.
Did they actually go? Yeah, no, they are going to be able to get the kill. And well, Rabel,
tower looks to be
he's going to be able to put pressure now as well. The Exorcism, it's still going, so yeah, they should be able to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower on the bottom lane.
Putting up a barricade.
Does the Dragon Knight just let this one go when he respawns? You know, is any teammates tipping in to help this one out, or does he then just move into the jungle and look for that jungle farm?
It is very hard now to go towards the tier 1 on the bottom lane, but you can continue farming from the tier 2. This is the thing with Hellraiser's lineup. They have 3 cores that are all good at pushing, especially now with Yodi having a Meteor Hammer. So you're pushing 1 tower, but immediately 2 towers of yours are taking some solid damage.
Yeah, you can see the Meteor Hammer being used on that mid lane. Dizzying's rotated in here. The Lycan already putting the pressure on to the top lane by taking that tier 1. He's got himself a Hellburst Smasher as well. And it looks like he's just happy to sit and camp out, you know, find the farm, find the XP on this top lane. And like you say, if they do try and respond to this, then you've got the Dragon Knight to push out, or you've got the OD. Speaking of, though, I think you have to go. It's going to be the Santa Claus dropped here. Do get the kill onto Antares, and no real fault from the side of Hellraisers, it looks like.
I was hoping to do a bit more damage there, but yeah, he didn't steal that much mana with the Astral Imprisonment, so of course the Sanity's Eclipse isn't gonna be doing all that much damage. But overall, that was a nice move from Darkside. Coming towards the mid lane, you could see that the Hellraisers were positioning themselves well, but that's why Seneko was coming from the other side. So as soon as Hellraisers start moving back, he catches someone on the retreat. You don't get a core, but you get something.
And what did Darkside need to do? Like I said, with all 3 cores on the side of Hellraisers being able to push towers, do they just need to focus on a single lane, or maybe 2 out of the 3 lanes, and just let the other one go down? Or is it a case of having to respond and put out all any fires as they pop up around the map?
Well, they have to bring numbers. This mid lane tower needs to stay alive for as long as possible. So as Dizzying is farming the jungle, he needs to be getting close as well. But during that time, you at least need to be getting your level 6s on the support. So at least Soneko has one. He's trying to utilize his shot. There it is.
It comes right in here, but Kiyotaka, can he get himself away from this one? He might actually go down, trying to sustain as long as he can. Does he get himself out? He doesn't. Dizzy able to pick up the kill. Really good initiation there. And Hellraiser's just not able to follow it up. So, a good early showing here from Darkside. We'll have to see if they can keep this up for the entire match.
They're doing a good job. They are doing everything they need, even though Hellraisers are doing a good job not giving them a lot. They're still playing really, really well. And now they're going to have 6s on both of their supports.
Well, he's going to be chased down into Solo. Solo can get himself away from this one. Connected field going to be dropped, but he looks at Seneko before the glimpse comes out. Was able to get the kill, and Rabel goes for the TP. Nothing to interrupt this, so he might just change targets onto Seneko. Seneko's low, but he drops those cogs. Can he get himself away? No TP here for the clockwork, so just has to try and huff it on foot. And it looks like the chase down from the big bad wolf. Is it going to be enough to get the kill onto Seneko? Even under the tier 2 tower, it looks like they're just going to give it up.
Dire's middle tower is
As
falling.
that is happening, though, the mid lane tower does fall, and this is why it's so hard for Darkside to play this game, at least when it comes to defending towers. And once your tier 2 starts falling, that is when things really become dangerous. But the good side of it is they do have their level 6s and supports, and Blizzy is approaching the Blink Dagger, so they're gonna have multiple ways of initiating, multiple ways of fighting on different parts of the map, and that is what you need with against the kind of lineup that Hellraisers have. So far it's okay for Darkside. even though they're 2k gold behind, they are still in this game really, really well. And once they have that initiation tool, it's going to be slightly easier for them to actually punish Hellraisers when they go for these aggressive plays, when they want to take towers.
Yeah, and we can see Kiyotaki, you know, he's just going to be farming up, trying to find this next bag, but there's going to be 3 heroes. If you take a look at the map, close hunting down onto Kiyotaki. It looks like they do want to apply this pressure to the OD. While that's happening, you know, you've got Solo on the top lane. He's just going to be, I mean, Mero's close, but he is going to be taking a look at the map, you know, just on his own for a little bit, looking to try and put some pressure, maybe get some solo XP, because he does need that level 6 still, only level 5 on the Disruptor. And while this is going on, you know, you've got your level 7 on Tsuneko. Rabel's going to be coming with an Exorcism. It looks like this time they do want to be stacking up for this mid lane tier 1.
I call for Hellraisers to just let it go. They understand the dangers of this. So what they're doing right now is that they're making sure that they're applying pressure on a tier 2. Once the tier 2 falls, that is when Hellraisers can split the map enough. So even when Darkside get all of their initiation tools, they won't be able to claim anything. So very, very smart approach from Hellraisers. Let them get the tier 1, and we're gonna be getting something more in return. So far though, the tier 2 hasn't dropped down, so that is a big one for Darkside.
Yeah, and the Centaur coming in to defend it now as well. He's not going to be too far away, about 600 gold from having that Blink Dagger as well. So he is going to have that initiation. The timing should be right there. Even if Hellraisers take this tier 2 and try and get themselves into like the Roche pit, you know, as long as Darkside know what's going on, it should be a good response for them, because they've got the hook shot coming in. They'd have the Blink Dagger, you know, they've had that, they'll have the Bushwhack as well, and the Drow Ranger being able to harass from outside the pit. As long as you have that vision, it could be a really good timing here for Darkside if this Blink Dagger is up in the next minute or 2.
It is good. So Blizzy, very soon he's gonna be making things happen. Hellraisers, they don't have a lot of levels on solo, and I think that's the main issue why they can't go for team fights. That TP of his towards the top lane that was unsuccessful hurt his game quite a lot, and now because of it, Hellraisers in general, they have no chances of going for a team fight.
Yeah, we saw him grouping up with Antares, you know, moving between the mid and the top lane, looking for fights, looking for, you know, the pickoffs and the kills, and they were able to get one onto Tsuneko. But I mean, Hellraisers at 14 minutes into this game already only have 2 kills on the board, and you'd expect from the way they've come into this game as the favorites, you know, they've been taking a lot more control for this game. But at the minute, Darkside, like you said, looking really good. Decent free farm. He's not being contested in his triangle. He's just found his items. Already got himself the Dragonlance. What's the build-up you expect here from the Drow? Is it, you know, the Dragonlance into the BKB, or do you want more damage? You're maybe building towards the Chrysalis into the Silver Edge right away. What is it the Drow Ranger wants?
You get a Hurricane Pike for sure.
Yeah.
And then it is actually a question where you go with it. So I'm gonna say Shard BKB would probably be the most common choice.
Okay, there is going to be a jump here onto Antares. He did miss the hook shot though, so it looks like the side of Darkside just want to back themselves away. Tsuneko still showing in the river. Ramses giving chase here, and Ramses will be going towards that BKB right off the bat. And let's see, I mean, what does he want to go for that after that? There is still, like you say, the Mantis style if he wants to go to, Radiance if he wants that early enough. But at the minute, you know, take a look at the net worth. He is top of the net worth, but it's not a massive difference between what the top 4 or 5 here.
They're gonna walk into the pit. Darkside should be ready for this. Blizzy does have a smoke, and with the rocket coming through, this is not gonna fall so fast. You have the OD, but Darkside, are they really late for this one? They should have been expecting this one for sure.
Yeah, I would have expected some vision around the pit, but it looks like they're not even going to try and engage on this, at least for this first Roshan. Again, they're happy just for Dizzying to find the farm. They don't want to fight into it. Even though the Blink Dagger was up on Blizzy there as well, so it looks like they just want to get the next big item times and then maybe look towards fighting. But for the minute, yeah, you can see the Raven wants to go towards that BKB as well. The hook shot though comes in. I think he will get the kill into the Disruptor, push back from the cogs now as well. Glimpse comes out. They should be able to. They will still be able to get the kill. And it looks like it might. Do they want to go for more? Exorcism is out now as well. Tsuneko's pretty down low. The Black Dragon chasing him down. It looks like they might want to go. It's going to be Double Rush coming through now as well. Do they get the kill? They are. They're going to pop this Aegis almost immediately. And the chase down onto Hellraisers. Do they back themselves away? Ramses coming in that Dragon form. Has that BKB. The Wolf doing a lot of damage onto Tsuneko. It looks like Rabel might have been caught out in no man's land. He might be the sacrificial lamb here as the rest of Darkside are able to get themselves away.
Oh, definitely miscommunication there between Darkside, between Rabel and the rest of Darkside, because everybody went out. He could have walked away, but he turned around, started running into the enemies, just gave him a kill, and now they might get a bonus on the Hoodwink.
Yeah, and it's a nice pickup that, you know, be able to get Roger, but it is going to be a support and a mid for and a support and a mid. And, you know, Darkside, if taking an even trade, any advantage or any trade that Hellraisers can get is nice. But if they take an even trade here, Darkside, you know, not going to be too miffed with that either.
The problem is that it was an Aegis, so, you know, Kiyotaka did not really die, did he? So it is gonna be okay with that one. And next fight, you're gonna have a DK that is gonna be up front there. It's just not gonna be as easy. Also, D now has a 4-staff, so he's not gonna be that easy to catch as he was earlier. That bushwhack coming out from Roger on the hoodwink really set up the fight nicely for Darkside, but they should know their limits. At some point, you have to start running away, and that is after your Stampede has been expended. You have to get out.
You can see that Ramsey's now looking to put pressure onto the tier 2. Should be able to take it uncontested as well. I don't know if you noticed, but around that fight, Drow Ranger had the Philosopher's Stone in the backpack as well. Was trading it out when wasn't farming, wasn't right-clicking, just to get that extra gold. Not too far away now from that Hurricane pack. In fact, does have the gold to buy it out and will be going straight towards that shard if you take a look at the items. But yeah, you can see, you know, the Roger rotation is coming around. He's getting some wards down as well. It looks like they want to take complete control of this bottom side of the map. Maybe trade off, try and commit to this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane now on the side of Darkside.
When you take down the tier 2, take the outpost, you have a really good angle to go towards the bottom lane to get there fast without the enemies actually knowing what's up. And with the creeps now being in base of Darkside, there's a chance you get caught by this one. Now, when you look at it though, Hellraisers, they did have a few stops there, we're unsure, so not sure that they'll be getting anything out of this. At this point, it becomes obvious.
Yeah, Rebel just goes straight for the TP out. Ramsey's actually going for the Blink Dagger shard. So, as much as we talked up the different builds, it is looking like the Dragon Knight going back to that classic build, the BKB Blink Dagger. Funnily enough, he didn't use the BKB in that last fight. He did have it, but didn't feel the need to use it. So that is still a 9-second BKB here for the Dragon Knight.
You know, even this build is exciting when you don't see it every single game. I don't mind, to be honest. And Ramses though hasn't really been part of this game. He's 0-1-1 as 156 CS. You know, him and Dizzying kind of going for farm mode.
Yeah, true. And you can see that, I mean, the Drow Ranger, again, a little bit behind, more than a little bit behind the Dragon Knight now. You know, that gap is starting to spread between the two carries. And it looks like, I mean, Dragon Knight's going to be able to put the pressure onto this bottom lane as well, looking towards this tier 1. Darkside, do they respond to this? Because they do have the BKB coming out for Rabel now as well. Exorcism is up. All of the big spells are up. Or are you expecting Dizzy again just to try and play Keyboy here and look towards that next big item, which looks like it's going to be the shard?
Dizzying is gonna TP if fight starts breaking out, and Centaur not being caught immediately, they might be able to get out. No, he made a mistake there. He didn't use the Stampede in time, was afraid of the glimpse, and because of it, without him, it's very hard to fight for Darkside. I don't know what Rabel is doing, to be honest.
Yeah, Rabel gets himself in the middle of the fight now as well, getting past that BKB means he could be popping this to the Death Prophet, but still, he looks like he's going to go down. The Bushwhack comes through. The physical damage still way too much on the side of Hellraisers. Gets the kill. They're going to be chasing for even more now as well. The Gust comes out, but Seneko, he's going to be locked down and killed off, and Kiyotaka claiming that one. In fact, do they actually get the glimpse? They get the vision onto Roger as well, and it looks like they might be able to get the kill onto the Hoodwink. Roger trying to use that sharpshooter though. He does jump over the trees, gets that distance that he needs, and will be able to get himself back towards the high ground.
Oh, Rabel is not respecting this damage of the Lycan, and they even found Dizzying as well. He does have a Hurricane Pike, but with the stolen herb stuff, it's gone.
Yeah, he was still up for way too long. Oh, the 4-staff comes out. It's still onto the Rubik, but now Blizzy, he's caught out a little bit further than he'd like to. He's getting for Ramses though.
Don't look good.
He actually, I mean, he's got 3 teammates all together around him, but it looks like, I mean, Ramses is the furthest one forward, so it looks like he just wants to get himself out of dodge.
Yeah, they don't value him as a kill, it seems like. They understand that you need a lot of commit to actually kill the Centaur, and they just made the decision that it's not worth it. Controlling the bottom part of the map and having the resources currently with the Drow Ranger dead, it's gonna inflict so much damage to the economy of Darkside that they felt like another kill, it's just not worth it. And that is where experience comes into play. You know, imagine a South American team, a Southeast Asian team, they would go forward and you know, I miss the old Eastern Europe, but the way that they're playing Dota nowadays is just more clean.
Yeah, I think everyone, you know, in some parts, you can see the tip. Hellraisers, there's going to be the hook shot through though. Did he catch out? Really nice. That's a Tom coming through. Antares, though, I think he'll be able to get the damage. kills. It looks like everybody's going to be able to get themselves away. It's going to be a really nice bushwhack onto 3 kills, but can they capitalize on this? Raven wants to go for the chase down. They do get the kill onto the Rubik. Can they go for even more now as well? It looks like the Force Staff saving Disruptor's life. They're going to be able to get the stomp onto the Drow, and Drow with no BKB. The Hurricane Pike's going to be still stood up, cleaned up, and killed off now. Yeah, the chase onto a nice couple of to come through. Q onto they get the kill onto the Lycan. Can they get even more? The Q attack is going to get low, but can he turn himself around? Yeah, there's going to be an asshole imprisonment. Rabel and his Eclipse does get dropped. They absolutely clean up onto the cause on the side of Darkside, and they might even be able to get something else out of this. They do getting the kill onto Sineko.
This is what happens when you do not have heavy physical melee damage against the OD. At some point, you just run out of damage. That is what happens. And if this hero, no matter how low it is, if he turns around and starts dishing out the damage, this is what happens. Everybody just dies. And I mean, I can't even get over how much of the damage this Lycan is doing. You know, OD did 2,600 damage in that fight, but Lycan did almost 4,000, and he died. So it is just insane how much he's cutting through everyone, because Darkside, they have no armor. The only thing protecting them is the Crimson Guard.
Yeah, and
middle tower is under
when
attack.
the Drow range goes down like that again, still nowhere close. It seems like even though he's had the farm all to himself, maybe no stacks, you know, not being able to capitalize on, and all of a sudden he's 4k behind the Dragon Knight KB. There's no shard for the Drow Ranger, sitting on one major item. Meanwhile, you look at Ramses, you know, he's got the blink, he's got the BKB, starting on his Ags, he's got you know, the boots ready to go as well. So Ramses at the minute just seems to be finding the farm a whole lot quicker than the Drow Ranger, and it's reflected in these fights.
He doesn't have the map. That is what happens when your tier 2 drops so early. That is why Valve, Ice Frog, whoever, they're going out of their way to make sure that the tier 2 survives for as long as possible. 7 targets, 7 seconds, 6 targets, 7 seconds glyph. I mean, it's just to make sure that the tier 2 doesn't die. If a tier 2 dies super early on, that means your carry can only farm the triangle, and that's about it. Because top lane off limits, and you can invade the bottom lane with every single smoke, so you never feel safe, and that's gonna reflect on your farm. You just have no creeps to attack, at least not safely.
No, and the Lycan continue to push out the top lane, and like you say, even with the outpost being gone now, Roshan 50 seconds away from coming back up, so it looks like it's going to be the AC for the Lycan as well, but they're going to have the Terrorists, they're going to have that map control to just march themselves into the pit. And you know, what can Darkside really do to contest onto this?
If I was them, I would try to fight before that AC comes out. AC comes out and your Drow is not doing any damage, your Death Prophet is not doing any damage, meaning you're not killing anyone. So they are going for a smoke right now, and I think this is the right choice. You cannot allow them to finish off their next set of items and get Trojan. That is when the game ends, if things are as they are at this moment.
Yeah, but they stopped for the outpost, and now, you know, Hellraiser, the hookshot coming through though onto the Ruby to get the cog pushback, but it looks like Ramses, he's going to be trapped in by the wolf and the dragon. And he does get slain now here, Sineko, but what else can they do? They got the kill onto Solo. They want to chase for more. Ramses though, just looking to back himself away, and again, not too far away from this Ags. He just needs the booster, and he's not going to be too far away from that, only about 150 gold. So if Darkside go now, the Dragon Knight, even though he's used that Dragon form, it's going to be up for the next one in 70 seconds. I think it's stun onto Rabel now as well. Rabel can get himself away. Astral Imprisonment comes out. Bushwhack here onto the OD. Can they go for even more BKB? The Rabel, there's going to be the jump in. The Summit lands into nobody. The silence comes out. Rabel, he wants to chase. Might be able to go onto Antares, but Ramses, he still wants to go into this. Was that Dragon Tail to get the stun onto the Death Prophet? And Death Prophet's caught out. Even the Stone Golem getting involved in this. There's going to be the Meteor Hammer being dropped. A Rabel with the 4-star hook to the high ground, but Ramses is going to chase now. So Ramses, he pops a BKB. He gets the stun onto the Drow Range after killing off onto the Death Prophet, and Dizzy, and he's not going to survive.
Hellraisers didn't even have to go for that one. They could have just waited out the exorcism, and that would have been it, right? There's no damage on Darkside, but they wanted to try if they could fight, and just no way of the Darkside can do anything. They didn't have the Clockwork there, and it's just an easy cleanup once the Death Prophet loses their BKB. That is a fight that goes through the entire exorcism, and it even comes back and heals the Death Prophet, and you don't do anything. You're just incapable of doing so. So this is the lane of Rax and Hellraisers. They've overtaken this game completely right now. There's no turning back, to be honest, if you're Darkside.
No, I mean, this is going to be, like you said, a lane of Rax here, taking it down. Even Sineko trying to do his best with the Bounty Sword, with the cogs to try and defend them, but it's not going to happen, and it looks like Hoodwink Roger got himself that double damage, looking to skip the wave as well, but just needs to go for that TP away. And now they know Roshan's up. You know, they've got that AC pretty much complete on the Lycan as well, flying out to him again. They've got the Ag Scepter here for the Dragon Knight, so this is going to be a Rosh that Darkside again, they might try and look to contest. They are grouping up, but this might be the final fight here for them, as I don't really know how they get into this Rosh pit and stop Hellraisers from taking it. In fact, they're not even going to be able to.
No, without the exorcism, you don't even attempt. That is a rule right now, because none of your heroes do damage. The way that they're drafted is that they have this hoodwink that bursts someone down at the start of the fight, and then by the Death Prophet tankiness and innate ability to do AoE damage, you scare the enemies off, and by the chase you get a couple of kills. Now, when it's the situation that the hoodwink cannot kill anyone, even with the boomerang, you know, you buy that to be able to burst people down. When you can't kill anyone, your lineup just can't do anything unless for some reason supports of Hellraisers, let's say, are both out of position and Rabel takes them down earlier. Then maybe, just maybe, you can win a fight. But it is very hard to think about it. But imagine what has to happen. They have to be out of position. The OD has to be out of position to save them. No one is there to attack you. Don't have to use BKBs. That's just an unrealistic scenario in competitive Dota.
Yeah, and we'll see again. They're even going to be able to find Roger. Telekinetic system. Ramses will be able to clean up onto the squirrel. So it looks like the Dragon Knight's going to be feasting here after that one. And again, while that's going on, you've got Kiyotaka pushing down onto this tier 2. The tier 2 with not a lot of health left anyway. And there's no big commitment apart from the Dragon Knight in this dragon form here. He hit level 18, it looks like, after taking down the hoodwink. So it's only to be the blue dragon for now. But still, this tier 3 tower, how do you really defend it if you're Darkside?
Now they're trying to wrap around. This is one last hurrah of a fight, and they're gonna try to engage from the side. That's the only thing you do. You're baiting with other heroes from the front, but at this point it should become obvious. Hellraisers, though, they're not in a good position. This could be a good initiation from Blizzy, and he goes in.
Stop. He comes out, though. There's going to be this status. So almost immediately, Kinetic Field comes out. Ramses pops the BKB, and they're going to be able to get the kill into Suneko and should be able to clear it onto Blizzy. Blizzy, yeah, no real way to survive through this now as well. The Byrock just come out from the Centaur, but it looks like Dizzy going to be chased down the Dragon Tail again. Even with the Crimson Guard, it's not going to be enough, is it, to keep him alive? Dizzy and trying to get back to the fountain, trying to keep himself out, but the glimpse comes through, and again, no BKB on the Drow Ranger. The GG is going to be called, and that is going to be game number 1. Going away of health in 30 minutes. A 22k net worth, leaving 18 to 10 in terms of kills.
Yeah, very easy game for them, really. From the start, they were crushing the lanes. That's somewhat what we expected.